and welcome back to another episode of Man Coverage. I'm Danzel Moore.
And I'm Derek Williams.
Well, we're going to get right into the show.
We got a lot to get into.
So
It's been a great basketball weekend.
Oh, it's been awesome. Awesome for basketball.
All-Star weekend. What did you think?
I thought, for the most part, this has been the best All-Star weekend in years. Because, honestly, it's like every other year, and we know what the problem was. The problem is like, oh, we didn't want to play with this person and this person didn't want to play with this person. That wasn't the problem. What the problem was is that nobody ever plays defense. And that's honestly what's been the problem for the past few years.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron James had like 2 blocks and he had 4 steals.
It was a defensive stop that won the game.
That's exactly what it was. When they stopped Stephen Curry at the last shot, this game was probably the best game that I've seen in a long, long time.
All-Star.
And this is probably one of the greatest All-Star weekends we could say in a long time, just because they brought back the live and the whole life of the All-Star weekend. That's really what it did, and I really like that.
Well, I'm on par with that. I would say the 3-point contest was very interesting. Devin Booker with 28 points, which is a record, never been done before. I would say the dunk contest, I say Larry Nance Jr. had the dunk of the night and he didn't win, which was a disappointment. The best dunk contest I've ever seen was 2 years ago when Zach LaVine and Eric Gordon went to like 5 overtimes. And the All-Star game itself was actually pretty entertaining. There was a lot of defense being played, a lot of I like the format, how they drafted their teams. And so you got to see LeBron and KD on the same team, which is, something you only see in a 2K game. So I was very impressed with the format and the way the game went. It was close. They played for their charity, so the players actually had something to play for. And, it was nice to see KD and Russ on the same team, Kyrie and LeBron talking again. It was just very interesting to see that dynamic during All-Star weekend. So I had fun with it. The celebrity game was even good. Quavo won the MVP. So, yeah, I was very impressed with the All-Star game. Adam Silver said there's a possibility that the draft will be televised next year for the All-Star game, so I look forward to that. But I think that the players really made a big step as far as the All-Star game this year, and I look forward to what happens next time. LeBron winning MVP, it was cliche, but I guess you could say he deserved it. But before that game, there was a comment. LeBron and Kevin Durant were in a car with ESPN host Kerry Champion, and they were just talking about politics and fatherhood and how they grew up. And it was very nice to see how LeBron and KD on the court are rivals, but to see them in the car together talking, it was really nice. And a co-host on Fox News responded to LeBron's.
Miss Ingram.
What's her name?
Miss Ingram.
I don't even know her name. But she responded to LeBron and Kevin Durant's political conversation, and she told them to shut up and dribble, basically putting them in the box. And I think it was only right for how that happened, and then how LeBron won the MVP. And I like how LeBron really has a voice, and he speaks for those who can't speak for themselves. And to tell him to shut up and dribble, it was very disrespectful. And I'm glad he won the MVP after those comments were made. What do you think about it?
This is my camera right here. I like this one right here. I think LeBron winning the MVP for the All-Star game, I think that was very, very significant to what happened this past week. Just with everything going on, they're talking about political things, and just LeBron James and Kevin Durant playing together on the same team, winning a championship in an All-Star game. I'm just saying that right there, it makes us seem like we are just like the people who are just looked at on TV as heroes were looked upon as, I'm an athlete myself, you're an athlete. So when we see those people on the TV, it's like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. A child is watching that. So for her to get on TV and to say, shut up and dribble, basically just saying that that's all you're good for. I mean, LeBron James, yes, we all know, he didn't go to college. He would have went to Ohio State, probably would have won 4 national championships. That probably would have been about it. But LeBron James, nevertheless, is a very, very educated man. And it is his given right by this whole country. It is his given right to speak his mind, and he can speak it without having to hear criticism from anybody else. That's the whole, I mean, it's an amendment. I mean, I don't understand where we come off and we judge this man because he has an opinion. I have an opinion, you have an opinion, all people in America have an opinion. So when a woman on TV who is on a platform tells this man to shut up and dribble, that he's just an athlete, what his opinion says is nothing, it's irrelevant, that's disrespectful, not just to him, but to me as a minority, as a black man. I mean, that's just, it's disrespectful. And I don't understand how you can live with yourself, Miss Ingram. If you're watching right now, I hope that you find some help because you really need it. That's all I really have to say.
All right. So as you can see, the Cavs made a lot of trades before the All-Star break, and woo, they cleaned house.
They sure did. They had.
Can you please read those trades off, please?
Dwayne Wade went back to Miami, which was actually, you know, he wanted to do that. He wanted to do that all along. I mean, I thought that was a great idea for him. You know, he can retire, he can finish his career where he started at. Isaiah Thomas went to the Lakers, which I think is probably going to be pretty good for him. Shannon Fry went back to he went to the Lakers. So I think that that's pretty good for them too, but it was just so we could set ourselves up as the Cavs. I mean, I'm always repping. Hardly home, but always repping. So we could set ourselves up as the new, I would say a new millennium, that word. Sorry. So I would say we could set ourselves up that we could have another championship or another shot at beating the Warriors. Ooh. So the next thing that they picked up was George Hill from the Sacramento Kings, Larry Nance Jr. from the Lakers, then we got Jordan Clarkson from the Lakers, and we got Rodney Hood from the Utah Jazz. Which, if you ask me, that right there, that's all the Cavs have been needing is a bench. That's it. If we didn't need anything else, all we needed was a bench to make ourselves more of a contender to beat the Warriors. Okay. If not them, then the Rockets. If not them, then OKC.
Well, let me put all you Cavs fans back to reality. I know you guys have won. You beat the Celtics, you beat the Thunder.
Yeah, now, don't be disrespectful now.
But listen, that team is not good enough to beat the Celtics in the East. That team will not be good enough to beat the Warriors.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
In the finals. Let me tell you something. So you got Steph Curry on the Warriors. Who's matching Steph on the Cavs? There's no Kyrie Irving. There's no Isaiah Thomas. Who's matching?
I understand.
Who's matching? Okay.
I understand that.
Klay Thompson. Who's guarding Klay Thompson on that team? Who's matching Klay Thompson?
Like you said a couple weeks ago, whenever the Cavs win a championship, it's credited to who?
LeBron.
LeBron is the entire franchise.
Oh, okay.
If you ask me, he's the entire franchise. They don't need anybody else. LeBron James is that team. And if you ask me, Tyronn Lue, who is he? He's just the coach. That's it. But here's the thing. When we're on the court, when we're dribbling and when we're playing just basketball, LeBron James is the coach. LeBron James is running the show. Okay. LeBron James is doing everything else that no one in the NBA has, that we've seen actually do.
I want you to keep that same energy because this is what I don't like about the LeBron factor. It's like, okay, well, LeBron is the best player on the team. We get that. All the credit goes to LeBron when they win. And when they lose, you know what we say? Oh, LeBron didn't have enough help. Because if you remember, in the finals, a couple years ago when he lost Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, what was the excuse? Oh, he didn't have anybody. But when he wins the next year, when he had all his pieces, all the credit goes to LeBron. So I don't think the pieces around LeBron get enough credit. And if you're telling me that this team is good enough to win the championship, when the championship rolls around and they lose because the Golden State Warriors will sweep this team, I don't want to hear, oh, LeBron didn't have any help. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Now, you remember the time we won, right?
Well, the time that the Cleveland Cavaliers won the championship.
I remember Kyrie hitting the game-winning shot. I remember.
Okay.
Kyrie
but do you
deserving
remember
to be the Finals MVP.
Game 5? Do you remember Game 5?
Yes, I do.
Game 5, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving both had over 40 points. LeBron had 42. I think Kyrie had 41.
The Warriors' best defensive player was suspended.
I understand that, but here's the thing:
I'll tell you right now, if Draymond Green does not get suspended for that game, the Warriors are back-to-back champions, 3-time champions.
Now, back-to-back.
Yes.
Now, without Kevin Durant, this past season, without Kevin Durant, could you say that the Cleveland Cavaliers would have beat them? Don't be disrespectful now.
Kevin Durant was the Finals MVP last year. He averaged 35 in the Finals on LeBron's head. Matter of fact,
we struggle to guard him.
That's hard to call because KD joined the Warriors to win his first ring. It wasn't the other way around. Steph won a ring without KD, so I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, without Kevin Durant, they wouldn't have won."
Why did Steph Curry win that ring?
Win the first
ring? The first one.
They were just a better team.
They were the better team. Now, Kevin Love was out for that game. Well,
yes,
he was out for the entire season.
But just like you said,
I understand that. But here's the thing: when LeBron James, but here's the thing: when LeBron James wins a championship for Cleveland, when he does, it's credited as 2.
Okay.
For every one that he gets, it counts as 2 championships for Cleveland.
Let me ask you this: the year that the Cavs won, Matthew Dellavedova was the point guard. You still had J.R. Smith. You still had Shumpert. You still had Tristan Thompson.
Whoa.
Shumpert is. You can say that. But look, I will make the argument that team that LeBron had in that Finals is better than the team that they have now. I am not impressed with this team. They've played well. Don't get me wrong. But do not think this is sustainable. This will not last. They will get to the playoffs, and I'm telling you, Boston is going to beat the brakes off this team. The Cavs are not making it out east.
I'm glad you brought that up because right here, I have the stats. We can look at right here.
A regular season game is a regular season game.
But here's the thing. You know LeBron James in the postseason.
Okay,
you know that team. That is a different LeBron James. And we all know that. America knows that. Look, LeBron James had 8 rebounds. He had 8 defensive rebounds. He had 10 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and he had 24 points.
And LeBron also averaged a triple-double in the Finals last year, and they still only won 1 game. So I don't really care about his individual stats. His team is not going to be able to get it done, and I'm telling you guys that right now. LeBron's team this year with Larry Nance Jr. and come on, like who's your point guard? Who is the point guard?
I want you to read these stats. Read these stats for me.
These are
read the Celtics. That is a regular season game. And now
talk to me when the playoffs come, because let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. Okay. Game 7. I don't care if it's in Boston or Cleveland. There's 1 minute left, and it's, let's say, 101 to 101. It's a tie game. Who are you taking? Are you going to take the most clutch player in the NBA in Kyrie Irving that you know is going to get it done when it matters? Or are you going to take this inexperienced Cleveland team outside of LeBron James? Outside of LeBron. I mean, but Larry Nance Jr. hasn't been to no finals. What's his name? George Hill. Come on now. Who in this Cavs team really stands out and can really complement LeBron? And don't say Kevin Love, because in the Game 5,
Kevin Love has never showed up. Kevin Love has never showed up. He's never showed up. So I will give you credit for that.
He never shows up.
But I will tell you this. How did we know Kyrie Irving is the clutchest player in the NBA? He had to prove it, right?
Right.
How did he get that chance?
Okay.
He got his first appearance in the Finals with who? Mr. King James.
Right.
Now, when he got his first appearance, they gave him the ball, and they gave him the opportunity to make that shot.
You're absolutely right.
When he did, and then after that, he did it again in the Christmas game later on that year.
You're right. Okay.
So, I will say this.
So you're just saying
whenever it comes,
give him a chance.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's all I'm saying, but I will say this. Whenever it comes down to Mr. King James, don't ever doubt him in the playoffs. Okay. Don't ever doubt him in the finals, because every time that LeBron has been the underdog in the finals, he's won.
Okay.
That's it. So just prepare, America, prepare just to see all of this. Okay. Prepare to see the greatness, and prepare to see this every game. Prepare to see it every single game.
And I'm going to tell you right here, right now, with a straight face that the Cleveland Cavaliers will not make it out the East. The Boston Celtics will. I'm telling you, they will not be able to hang 7 games with them, but we'll see. But let me ask you this.
We'll find out.
I'm watching All-Star Weekend, and I'm seeing a lot of young players just they're really pop. You know, Devin Booker, like I said, won a 3-point contest,
Right.
young player. You have Karl Anthony Towns did good in the All-Star game. You have Joel Embiid. You have the Greek Freak, Antetokounmpo. You have a lot of great young stars. So my question to you is, when LeBron and KD are gone, who is the next player that's who's gonna be the best player in the NBA in the next 5 years?
It's hard to say, but he's not in the league yet. I understand he's only a freshman, but I have to go with Trae Young from Oklahoma. Trae Young is a tremendous, tremendous basketball player whenever he's on. But here's the problem. For the past 9 games, Trae Young hasn't been consistent. So it kind of contradicts right now.
He's too little.
But LeBron, when he came into the league, that's what they were worried about. But when LeBron came into the league, he did get bigger. He matured. And you've seen him literally grow from that kid that was just outside playing basketball to now he's a grown man. And I love how they say it on the NBA, "Mama, there goes that man."
Okay.
I can't wait to hear them say that thing about Trae Young.
I can see that. He's a lights out shooter, but I'm gonna tell you right now, in 5 years, who the best player in the world is gonna be, and it's not Trae Young. It's gonna be Kristaps Porzingis for the New York Knicks, and I'm gonna tell you why.
He's great.
7'2", can shoot from anywhere on the court, lights out shooter, dominating the post, plays defense. What can't Porzingis do? What? Because you guys at home might say, "Oh yeah, well Antetokounmpo, okay." Well, Antetokounmpo, he's very dominant and a great inside scorer, but Porzingis can do that too because he's just as tall. But Porzingis can also shoot, and in today's NBA, you gotta know how to shoot. For example, name one center that is relevant right now that can't shoot. Dwight Howard, I don't know where he is. He cannot shoot. He is irrelevant. The centers that really matter are the ones that can shoot. So you got Porzingis who can shoot. You got
Dirk Nowitzki.
He can shoot. He has a crazy mid-range. Crazy mid-range. You got Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins, big men. The NBA is big men that can shoot. And if you can't shoot, then you're out of here. You know what I mean? Tristan Thompson, I'm surprised he didn't get traded because
that should have happened a long time ago.
I'm surprised Tristan Thompson didn't get traded. You know, he with Khloe Kardashian. The Kardashian curse might be real, but I believe Kristaps Porzingis in 5 years will be the best player in the world. And you know what? If I'm the New York Knicks, I would draft Trae Young to play with him.
I think that might have been the greatest idea.
Because Porzingis
we can finally agree on something.
Porzingis just tore his ACL. So it's not out of the realm to tank if you're the Knicks, so you can get a higher draft pick, and Trae Young is definitely going to come to the NBA.
Definitely.
And if I was the New York Knicks, I would say, hey, I get Trae Young and put him with Porzingis, and we put some pieces around him. Oh, yeah, they're going to the ship.
Question, though. I have video of Magic Johnson talking about Lonzo Ball.
Right.
He said that Lonzo Ball is the worst mistake in the history of the franchise for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Because of LeVar?
That's the main reason why.
Well,
he won't come out and say that, but that's the main reason why. What do you think?
Well, I like LeVar Ball, to be honest with you.
I love him.
I like what he's doing. There's nothing wrong with building your own brand. Now, of course, LeVar Ball says it's obnoxious things like, "Oh, I can be Jordan 101." But who really cares? Well, everyone has their opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I think I can guard Antonio Brown on a football field. Okay, I'm not going to think he's going to beat me. What man admits defeat to another man? So I have no problem with the obnoxious things that he says. My thing with LeVar is when it comes to the Lakers, you just have to let Lonzo be Lonzo. You don't. It's kind of like Lonzo, LeVar. It's like he's tied with him. I believe LeVar should focus on LiAngelo and LaMelo overseas and kind of let Lonzo do his thing. But as far as like LeVar Ball as a businessman, I think he can start. He said he's going to start his own league. I'm all for it.
Big baller brand.
Big baller brand. I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of LeVar Ball, and he made it. I seen a video a couple of days ago of LeVar Ball, and he made a good point because they had a meet and greet. I think it was Los Angeles. And remember, LeVar Ball is the CEO of the Big Baller brand. And like I said, they had a meet and greet with the fans and everyone. And he made a good point. He said, you don't see the CEO of Nike having meet and greets or Adidas having meet and greets with the people who buy their product. So that's where LeVar really has an edge because he interacts with the people as a CEO, and I really respect that. So, I mean, you can have your opinion on LeVar Ball, but as a black entrepreneur trying to get his kids to the NBA, you cannot hate on the man. You can't hate on him, and that's going to segue into my man-to-man. I want to talk about Lonzo Ball real quick because there's a lot of talk about, oh, is Lonzo a bust? Listen, first of all, if it wasn't for LeVar Ball in the first place, Lonzo wouldn't have went number 2. I heard about LeVar Ball before I heard about Lonzo Ball. Because like we really watch college basketball in March Madness. Like no one really watches it throughout the whole season. We really kind of tune in on March Madness. I'm not a heavy watcher until March Madness comes. I stay updated on it, but I'm not watching all the time. And the reason I even knew of Lonzo Ball in the first place was because of LeVar Ball hyping him up. And he spoke it into existence. He said, my son will get drafted by the Lakers. And what happened? He plays for the Lakers. So there's a lot, oh, is he a bust? Is he not? Let me ask you this. You add LeBron to the Lakers next year. I would say that would be, I think Lonzo and LeBron would be better than Kyrie and LeBron. I think they will play better. I think with Kuzma and Lonzo, they got a young team. He's just a rookie. I don't want to hear bust. I don't want to hear. He's just, for example, Markelle Fultz, De'Aaron Fox. Are we looking at them saying, oh, De'Aaron Fox is a bust? No, because they didn't have a dad that hyped them up in college, so we didn't really have that much expectations. We need to fall in love with the player and not fall in love with the expectations of the player. LeVar Ball gave us expectations for Lonzo Ball, and we are looking at that, and we're like, well, he's not living up to those expectations because LeVar said his first year, oh, the Lakers will be in the playoffs. So as watchers, we're looking at that like, well, if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, then Lonzo's a bust, but that is not true. Lonzo is a normal NBA rookie just like everyone else is. It's just his dad put a magnifying glass on him, so he's looked at with a more he just looked at more. You get what I'm saying? Just more, and he gets more scrutiny. I get it, but Lonzo Ball is going to be fine. And it's this whole thing about LeVar saying all my sons will play for the Lakers or Lonzo's going to leave. Ignore all of that. Let the days come. At the end of the day, it's basketball. Ignore LeVar. He's going to talk. I don't know what dad doesn't talk about his son. My dad talks about me all the time. You know what I mean? Every dad has the right to brag about their son. Fall in love with Lonzo the player. Stop falling in love with expectations of what the stats are and if he averaged it doesn't matter. Just he's a great player. I think what Steph Curry did for the three-point shot, Lonzo Ball is doing for assists. He's sharing the ball. He his vision. Like Lonzo's, he might be. When you talk about best players in the next 5 years, I would say Lonzo will be number 2 after Porzingis. I would make. And you can make that. You might disagree, but I can make that argument. So, I think Lonzo has a tremendous upside, and don't let him play with his brothers either. Don't imagine an NBA team with Lonzo, Leandro. Come on now, LaMelo.
I'm just saying that Lonzo Ball has a broke shot. What are you going to do about that?
A broke shot? A very broke shot. A very broke one. As long as it goes in, I don't care how it's delivered.
He's not producing now.
As long as it goes in. You know what a broke shot is?
He's a rookie, but I mean he's not producing.
Shot. I mean you can fix a shot. And that's what I'm saying. He's not producing. What you just said right there. LeVar Ball gave you expectations. You expect Lonzo to come into the NBA as a rookie and average a triple-double. playing with Kyle Kuzma. Let him get some players. Like, for example, when Kyrie got to Cleveland, he wasn't the Kyrie we know now until LeBron got there. So let Lonzo go through his growing pains. Let him develop his shot. And sooner or later, Paul George or LeBron James is going to come to L.A., and we're going to look at Lonzo like, man, he is the real deal. Just ignore the noise. Fall in love with the player, not the player expectations. All right? Like, don't look at the stat. It's okay. It's okay. Lonzo will be fine. I promise you guys. I'm sick of all the, he's a bust type talk. Lonzo would be fine. Well, this has been a good basketball weekend, and this is Man Coverage. And I am Derek Williams.
I'm Denzel Moore.
And we will see you guys next week with some more sports. So, see ya.